Alright, so today I'm going to be tying the ice dub minnow, which you can see in my vise right here is just a nice little streamer pattern. And I like fishing this on a smaller weight fly rod for little bass, but you can fish it however you'd like. It works for almost everything that swims. And I've caught bass on this fly, I've caught crappie on this fly, and even the one time I went saltwater fishing, I caught a ton of ladyfish and speckled trout on this. And I prefer doing colors like olive and white, chartreuse and white, and then this nice sort of like rusty orange color and tan. But yeah, let's get tying. So the hook I'm using is a size 8 bait holder hook, which you can get at most fishing shops, even if they're not fly shops, because these are sold for using live bait and stuff along those lines. They're also sold as wacky rig hooks, so you can get them just about anywhere. And I'm going to be using black thread, so I'm going to start just behind the eye of the hook. My hook eye is a bit open on this one, so I'm just going to start right here so my thread doesn't slip through the eye. And I only really want to come back to around where the point of the hook is, but I am going to come up here and hopefully try and close the hook eye a little with some thread wraps. And the two colors of ice dub I'm going to be using, I have this little ice dub dispenser. And you can see right here, I usually use like this white and this olive. But I'm going to be doing this tan and then this sort of rusty brown color. So to start, I want to take some of my tan ice dub, and I just want to have it just like this. And I maybe want to just thumb through it a couple times to align all the fibers like that. And now I'm going to tie it in at the midpoint. And one thing that's important to remember while you tie this fly is that it's like an EP bait fish. It does not have its shape until you trim it down. So it's not going to look the best once we whip finish it until after we trim it down. And even then, it won't look quite as good as its profile in the water. It has an incredible profile in the water, and you can just sort of go for a like a more generic minnow type profile or a shad profile. And I was going for a shad profile on the last one, so that's probably what I'll do for this one. But now I'm going to take my rusty brown ice stub, and I'm just going to start stacking up the top half of this fly. And I'm just going to tie these in right on top, stroke them back, and get a couple thread wraps down there to aim it in the right direction. Now I'm going to repeat the process with the tan ice stub. And I'll probably repeat this about, I want to say 2 or 3 more times. And I'm just going to do what I did, take loose thread wraps, tighten up after that. Get a couple in there. Bring it around and under to the other side of the hook. Take a couple wraps there. And take my top color. And the top color usually will be brighter, or not brighter, darker than the bottom color, because most bait fish you'll see in nature will be that way. So it's sort of the opposite of a clouser minnow, but that's because a clouser rides upside down to how you tie it with the dumbbell eyes. And another thing I forgot to mention about this fly, you can tie it weighted or unweighted. However, I'm doing this one unweighted because I find that bass and crappie are more aggressive towards them, and I have a higher hook set ratio when I can actually see the fly when it's sort of higher up in the water column. So not really top water, but sort of just below the surface by a couple of inches. And I like fishing this fly by just stripping it really fast, like about as fast as I can strip, and maybe letting it pause to sink down every once in a while. Now this is going to be my last clump of the top color before I start trimming up this fly. And I'm just going to take 2 pinches and put them together. And right here, I'm just going to do what I've been doing. Tie it in right here. Pull it over. Take a couple of thread wraps there. And secure the extra loose looking ice dub. I want to cover up all the ice dub with my thread wrap so it looks clean. And now I'm going to get in my whip finish. And another thing I'm going to do to this fly after I trim it up is I'm going to take just a nice Sharpie marker And I'm going to add eyes on either side. You can use tape eyes if you'd like as well, but I prefer just using a Sharpie marker. And at this point, the fly does not look great. It does have a tapered profile, which I guess isn't terrible, but I want to sort of take it out of the vise like you would with an EP minnow and just shake it around to get all of the fibers going in the direction they naturally want to go, like this. So then you can get a better gauge on trimming. And now I want to trim almost a straight line on the top, just like that. And then on the bottom, I want to come out a bit further and just trim a nice sort of tapered tail on this fly. And you can see right here, it's got that real nice sort of shad profile. And I'm going to add eyes, but then I'm actually going to dip my fingers in some water and show you what this fly will look like when it's being stripped, like its wet profile, because that's probably more important to focus on than its profile when it's completely dry. So I'm just going to get a couple drops of water there, and that'll probably do it. And then I'm just going to stroke these back, and you can see right there it has a really perfect tapered profile, just like you'd want out of a minnow fly. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something about tying this fly. And if you did, please like and subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. And comment any of your thoughts on this video. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. Thank you for watching.